All right, welcome to the new Greene County High School and Career Academy. Today we have a 360-degree tour of the building. The tour is completely interactive, so you can move your cursor about and have a 360-degree view of whatever space we're in. So feel free to look around, take as much time as you like enjoying it. I'm Sam Harding. I'm the owner's representative for the project for the school district. Along with Steve Shuey, the superintendent of the project for Henkel Construction, the general contractor, and Brent Gersma, the technology coordinator for the district. So right now we're at the main entrance on the north side of the Career Academy and High School. To my right, to the east, is the academic wing, and to my left, to the west, is the Career Academy. We're going to enter through the main door, which is where the public would enter during the day. The rest, it'd be the only door in the building unlocked all day. It's the only way to get in. It's a secure entrance, and you would check in at the office. So we're going to do those steps, walk you through the academic wing, and then continue through other parts of the building. So we'll go in here. We can't go in the secure entrance because they just laid this carpet this morning. So this would be the office area that anyone would come into to check in to visit the building. They would come in this door. The next set of doors would be locked, and then they would get their permit from the secretary on duty, get a badge, get buzzed into the school, and they would get into the school through that glass door there and into where they needed to go for their business. On behind here, you can see Brian back there. He's waving at us back there, the principal, in his office. This is a conference room for meetings and such. To this side is the nurses' quarters. They have a bathroom for kids if they need to clean up, if they've been sick, those kinds of things. They got beds for them to rest on. It's a well laid out facility. Down this hallway is teacher workshops and teacher things. Right here is the athletic director and his secretary in these offices. Off to one side down there is the data room, and we might come back by that later. Going on now out of the office, these three spaces we're walking through are for kids that don't want to be in these spaces. They're for in-school suspension if they've done something wrong. So we're walking into the classroom part of the building now. This is a typical classroom here. We're going to look at one in a minute. We have a stairway on both the north and the south, primarily for fire, but the students can use them. The academic wing is two-story, so that we could concentrate it on top of one another for a lot of different reasons, but it's going to be a very effective way to use the space. So the first room we come upon is the little Ram Preschool. Come in. You're on the 360-degree tour.
Okay.
So Little Ram Preschool has been around for many, many years, and it now has its very own room. You can see just outside it has its own little play site, but it's a well-equipped facility with its own restroom. It'll be for little 3-year-old guys and gals to start their first experience in school. It's connected to our family and consumer science room. This is where they'll teach a lot of the fabrics courses, those kinds of things. And you can see that it's set up for sewing stations and other, some quilting kind of things, those kinds of things. Those are skills that will be taught in here. And they also then teach the stuff for Little Ram Preschool in here. And then the kids practice that in there with the little folks. We're moving on out into the hallway.
One thing they do, they have clever touches in all your classrooms that we may want to point out, and along with a marker board paint, so that's actually just on the wall with just the tray and that. So all along that wall, they can do their markers on the thing.
Even right behind Steve, where they've written on it already.
Yep. I'll walk you through the clever displays in one of these rooms, but they're really good, fantastic panels the staff will be able to use for a lot of things.
All right, so we're coming underneath the learning stair area. This area, when they get here, will be where the student lockers are. You can tell there's probably not enough for every kid. We discovered that kids don't use lockers. anymore. They run into the building in shorts and t-shirts when it's 40 below, and that's just the way it is. So we didn't spend as much money on lockers as we could have. We spent it in other ways. So this room is for level 3 special education, and then we start general ed rooms this direction. We're here towards the learning stair. I think one of these is open. So coming into this area is your first look at the beautiful learning stair. You can see it has stairs on one side and then seating on the other. The learning stair is set up to be a place where teachers can bring their class to have maybe a guest speaker talking to them. If you get out here, there's a 70-inch monitor right above us there that they can have their presentation on. You can see you could have quite a few classes in here to get a speaker, or you could have just one. It's also a place for kids to just sit and work on projects together, collaborate, do all kinds of things together. And you can see it's attached to this space that just has some comfortable seating and some different ways to just sit and enjoy all the sunlight that comes into this space. This building is bathed in natural sunlight. Lots and lots of windows and lots of glass. It's a fantastic facility for that. But the idea of all of this space is that it's a collaboration is the key word in the design of this building. Kids need to know how to think, not what to think. They need to know deeper knowledge than we've ever had them know. They don't need to know that Columbus came over in 1492. They can look that up on Google. They need to know what that meant. How was that important? What did that change in the course of world events? Those kinds of things. They need to think much deeper because that's the way the world we live in demands them to be. And they also need to learn to work together because there's not a job anymore, even Steve's crews, that they got to be able to work together. If you can't work together, you can't build something like this. 5 people put this together. That's how it turned out so beautiful. It just takes time and effort, but it takes coordination and learning to work together with each other. So I think we can go in here. This is a tip. I think I saw this Clever Touch was on. And you can explain the Clever Touch.
Sure. So there's a lot of technology in this office or in this building, which is great. I'll let you hold this. So these are all Clever display panels. They're interactive touch panels. So think about these as a giant Android tablet, you might say. That's also a TV. So every teacher that's in a classroom has one of these. And not only do they have this Clever Android operating system, but they also have a Windows PC that's mounted behind the display. So if they need to use their keyboard, mouse, and they want to see their screen, we're going to mirror these displays so they can use their computer here, and they can also use the whiteboard here. I'll just tell you, there's tons of potential with this, but one of the really neat things that I like with this is the whiteboard function. So this mimics a whiteboard, but it's digital, and there's a lot of ways to get this information to students. So they can do their notes with a pen and a paper, or excuse me, with a pencil that acts as a stylus. So we can do multiple colors with multiple points. So we've got a black tip here and maybe a red tip here. So I can do red here, black here. If I've got letters, I can underline, etc., etc. But also there's, I believe, 12 points that you can it will recognize. So you can do lots and lots of different multiple interactions that way. So I can have one student over here writing and another student over here writing if I wanted to. You can zoom out, zoom in. This is unlimited space. And then once the students once we're done with the notes for the day, I can export this to Google Drive and I can send it to all my students so they can have the notes that day that we did on the whiteboard on their Chromebooks so they can use those and references later for future studies. So much potential with this. If there's an app in the Google Play Store that they'd like to have, we can blast it to these display panels and they'll be able to get it on their Clever Touches. And then again, we've got the Windows PC side of it as well. I'm not sure if this computer is on. But if it were, we would just switch inputs and they would go to that one. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of potential on that end. And I'm not sure if this one's powered on. But
there it comes.
There we go. So there's their login for the Windows PC side of it. And that's also interactive as well. So I could literally touch and put my password in that way. not having to be constricted to my keyboard at my desk. So
Cool. All right.
Didn't have that one on you.
No, I didn't have anything like that. All right. We'll head down this way. I think we're on the 360 tour.
Is that running? Yep.
Yeah. This is the elevator. A couple classrooms over here. And then this area here is called the Success Center. It's an area you can see it's open. It's got a lot of comfortable ways for kids to be in there, but it's a place where they can go to get extra help with work that they are having trouble with. It'll be staffed by people that can help them with their homework, help them with their assignments, all those kinds of things to help them be successful. Because what we really want is kids to learn, and we want them to be successful. We want them to understand when they come out of here how to be a really great person and how to be a great asset to the community. This space, this is our business ed room, but it's also our computer lab for this building. So in addition to all the business ed classes, this will be where they'll teach the beginning levels of coding that then are followed up in the Career Academy with the courses from Iowa Central that lead to jobs at Pillar here in town, a computer coding manufacturer or provider. You can see that, again, well equipped, all brand new. When we came out here, one of our goals was to be state of the art. So we bought all new furnishings, all new computers, everything. We did not want to try and reuse a bunch of stuff. Let's go up the stairs and look at something before we leave that.
And we'll do that one in another video, so stay tuned. We'll get you then.